The daily routine is a carbon copy of the day before. Your phone buzzes at 6:30 a.m. You drag yourself out of bed, completely running on fumes because you stayed up until the early hours of the morning cramming for a midterm or typing an essay you'll completely forget about 3 weeks from now. You walk across campus, sit under dead fluorescent lights for hours, and listen to lectures that feel entirely disconnected from the actual real-world economy happening right outside the window. Then you open your phone, check your Chase or Bank of America app, and feel your stomach drop. You have exactly $4.50 left to your name. You start doing that desperate mental math we all know too well. Can I afford a basic meal tonight? Or do I have to swallow my pride and ask my parents for money again? The financial anxiety is a quiet, heavy weight that never leaves your shoulders.
Meanwhile, the traditional gatekeepers, your professors, high school counselors, and well-meaning relatives all give you the exact same cookie-cutter advice.
That traditional advice is completely, fundamentally broken. It belongs to an old economy that died decades ago. In today's world, waiting until you walk across a graduation stage to figure out how cash flow works is the fastest way to start your adult life stressed, broke, and 10 steps behind the pack. You don't need to wait for a piece of paper from a university to give you permission to build wealth. You don't need a venture capital seed round. You don't need to drop out of school like a tech billionaire cliche. And you definitely don't need insane, once-in-a-lifetime luck. What you actually need is a single, clear, laser-focused target. You need to make your first $10,000. Why exactly 10 grand? Because $10,000 is the precise tipping point where money stops being an abstract theory you read about in textbooks and becomes a tangible, buildable skill that you control. The first $10,000 is universally the absolute hardest milestone to hit. It demands that you build completely new operational habits from scratch while balancing challenging classes, brutal midterms, and a social life. But the moment you crack the code on how to make $10,000 once, the illusion completely vanishes. You realize making money isn't a mysterious lottery, it's a repeatable protocol. If you can do it once, you can do it 10 times, scale it up, and build true, lifelong wealth. If we stripped away all your cash, all your connections, and every single one of your school qualifications today, this animated master blueprint is exactly how you build that 5-figure engine entirely from scratch while staying in school. Step number 1, pick your income engine. If you spend even 5 minutes scrolling through TikTok or YouTube Shorts, you will run directly into a wall of hyperactive noise. You'll see guys standing in front of rented sports cars screaming that you need to day trade volatile penny stocks, buy into complex real estate syndicates, or dump your textbook money into high-risk crypto tokens. This is the exact spot where 99% of students completely ruin their financial momentum before they even take their first step. They jump into hyper-volatile vehicles because they heard a story about a guy making a fortune overnight. What they never tell you is that day trading and crypto speculation are not primary income engines. They are money multipliers. They require massive upfront cash reserves to survive the inevitable market drops, and they rely heavily on pure, chaotic luck. Trying to turn $100 into 10 grand via day trading while sitting in the back of a lecture hall is just walking into a casino and betting your rent money on red. It's a fast track to staying broke. When you strip away the internet garbage, a student looking to build a real income engine has exactly 4 legitimate options. Let's evaluate them with absolute honesty. 1 is selling in-person services. We're talking about classic, localized tasks: personal training, delivery driving, dog walking, mobile car detailing, or local videography. The core benefit here is absolute speed. You get paid the exact second the work is completed. When I was in my teens, I used to walk through affluent neighborhoods looking for a specific indicator: immaculate, pristine gardens paired with incredibly dirty cars. I realized that if a homeowner was deeply obsessed with keeping their lawn flawless to impress their neighbors,
they secretly hated that a filthy vehicle was ruining their driveway's aesthetic. I knocked on their doors, offered a premium hand wash on the spot, and walked away with cash. However, in-person services possess a brutal structural ceiling. They are strictly bound by your local geography and your physical time. You can only wash one car at a time. If you get slammed with a heavy week of university midterms and can't physically show up to labor, your income hits exactly zero. It is a fantastic way to make your first $500, but scaling it to $10,000 while maintaining high grades is a frustrating upward battle. Option 2 is local products. This is creating and selling physical items locally, like home-baked goods, custom woodwork, or handmade crafts. Turning a creative hobby into real cash sounds incredibly romantic, but for a student, the math is deeply depressing. Physical items require upfront raw materials. That means your scarce money is completely locked up in inventory before a customer even looks at your product. By the time you calculate the hours spent manufacturing each item against your material costs, you are usually earning well below minimum wage. Option 3 is global products. Launching a clothing brand, drop shipping, or print-on-demand e-commerce. Going global sounds spectacular because your market is the entire planet. Anyone can buy from your website while you are fast asleep in your dorm room. This is where the classic restocking trap catches young entrepreneurs. Imagine you launch a product. It goes viral on social media. You sell 20 units and you make a great profit. Amazing, right? Wrong. To keep the momentum going and fulfill the next wave of orders, you can't actually spend that profit. You have to take every single dollar you just made, add more cash from your savings, and send it right back to your overseas manufacturer to buy 50 more units. Your wealth is entirely trapped in cardboard boxes sitting in your bedroom corner. For a student who needs liquid cash flow, e-commerce can easily become a high-stress financial cage. Which brings us to the ultimate financial cheat code for the modern student: online services. We are talking about high-value digital skills, copywriting, short-form video editing, thumbnail optimization, paid ad management, or B2B social media management. Online services take the massive global reach of e-commerce and combine it with the instant payout velocity of a service, while completely deleting the downsides. You can sit in your campus library and work for a business owner based thousands of miles away. But the real magic lies in the profit margins. When you sell a physical product, a 20 to 30% margin is considered standard because the rest is swallowed by shipping, storage, and manufacturing. When you sell an online service, your profit margin is 70% to 80%. Your only real expenses are your laptop, your Wi-Fi connection, and the basic software tools you use to perform the work. Every single dollar a client pays you goes straight into your pocket. To find your specific offer, don't spend months overthinking it. Take a piece of paper and answer 3 simple questions. What digital tools am I already naturally decent at? What do I genuinely enjoy learning about in my free time? And what operational problem do local or online businesses desperately need solved? The precise intersection of those 3 answers is your service offer. Once you have it, do not waste time building a website or designing a logo. Your only goal is to find your first client. Price your service slightly below market rate to secure the gig, and get real-world proof of concept immediately. Step number 2, master the skill pyramid. Once you've selected your digital service, you need to realize that simply having the skill is only 10% of the game. There are thousands of incredibly talented video editors, writers, and graphic designers who are completely broke, deeply stressed, and struggling to afford rent. Why? Because they treat their skill like a cheap commodity. They log on to giant freelance platforms, list their services right next to 10,000 other people, and engage in a race to the bottom, cutting their prices to pennies just to win a $40 gig. If you want to scale your income to $10,000 without turning your student life into a living nightmare, you must view your skill through the framework of the skill pyramid. The first tier is positioning. You must completely transition your mindset from consumer thinking to business asset thinking. Individuals think about money through the lens of scarcity and expense. If you try to sell a creative service to a casual individual, they will view your fee as a painful bill they want to minimize. Businesses, however, view money through the lens of ROI and leverage. If a business is generating $50,000 a month in revenue, spending $2,000 to solve a critical operational bottleneck isn't a bill, it's an investment. Businesses face a never-ending wall of core problems. They need qualified leads, higher conversion rates, and better content to stand out from their competition. Weak positioning. I will edit TikTok videos for you for $20 an hour. You are treated as a disposable, low-wage task worker. Premium positioning. I help high-end real estate agencies structure and edit short-form video content that directly drives inbound property leads to their top agents. You are now a strategic growth partner. You can easily charge a $1,500 monthly retainer for the exact same physical output. The second tier is leverage. You will never cross the $10,000 mark as a student if you are trading your limited hours directly for dollars. Your time is incredibly scarce. You have classes to attend, group projects to finish, and exams to pass. If your model requires 40 hours of manual labor every single week to hit your revenue target, your academic performance will eventually collapse under the weight. The third tier is reach. The amateur freelancer spends all their free time frantically chasing clients, spamming cold direct messages, and feeling the constant anxiety of the hustle. The professional builds an inbound content engine that makes clients come to them. Use the power of the internet to show, not just tell. If you design thumbnails, don't just send a generic resume. Post short videos breaking down why a specific creator's design got millions of clicks. Document your learning journey publicly. When your target audience sees your authentic expertise directly on their feed, the dynamic completely flips. A business owner scrolling through their phone at night will see your breakdown, recognize your genuine competence, and reach out to you. Inbound attraction completely changes your leverage in a negotiation. The absolute peak of the pyramid is automation and reliability. Let me give you a massive industry secret. 95% of people are completely unreliable. They promise the world during the initial sales call, and then they completely vanish, miss deadlines, offer wild excuses, or deliver sloppy work late. This means your greatest competitive advantage as a student isn't raw genius talent. It is simple, ironclad reliability. Premium clients don't expect you to be a flawless, creative prodigy. They want peace of mind. They want to know that when you promise a project by Thursday at 5 p.m., it will be in their inbox by 4:59 p.m., no matter what. To achieve this while managing a heavy class load, you cannot rely on messy notes or memory. You must automate your administrative workflow using a professional CRM system. Step number 3, turn your income into long-term wealth. Listen to me very closely on this. I don't care how fast you hit your first $10,000, if the exact moment you get that cash in your hand, you use it to buy luxury clothes, expensive nights out, or depreciating items just to impress people you don't even like, you have fundamentally lost the game. The broke mindset looks at income as instant permission to spend. The wealthy mindset looks at income as raw fuel for the wealth engine. Until your net worth crosses a stable $1 million, your income is not your play money. It is capital meant for strategic deployment. Amateurs ask, what can I buy with this cash? The wealthy ask, how many automated workers can I buy with this cash? To transition from someone who just makes money to someone who holds permanent wealth, you must route your cash through a disciplined asset allocation framework based on a strict risk scale. Risk level 1 is your high-yield cash buffer. Before you buy a single stock or crypto asset, you must build your financial fortress. Take your initial service profits and place them into a high-yield savings account that remains entirely liquid. Your goal is to have a minimum of 6 months of true emergency survival expenses, entirely insulated from the market. Laptops break, cars need repairs, and clients occasionally cancel retainers. A deep cash buffer ensures that when real-life emergencies happen, they remain minor inconveniences rather than total financial disasters. Risk level 2 is broad index funds and ETFs. Once your cash buffer is full, the absolute bulk of your wealth generation should be automatically routed into low-cost index funds, like an S&P 500 fund. Index funds are the ultimate set-and-forget wealth machine for a busy student. You are purchasing a fractional piece of the 500 largest, most profitable corporations in America, all wrapped into one clean investment. You don't have to spend hours reading complex balance sheets between your college lectures. The average return of the S&P 500 over long periods is around 10%. If you build an automated habit right now where you route just $5 or $10 a day out of your service business into an index fund instead of buying a premium coffee, compound interest does all the heavy lifting. By the time you reach retirement age, that simple student habit will have expanded into well over $1 million. Risk level 3 and 4 are individual stocks and asymmetric crypto. If you have a deep interest in market research, you can allocate a small, tightly controlled percentage into individual blue-chip stocks or major crypto protocols like Bitcoin or Ethereum. But treat this as pure asymmetric risk. Only invest an amount of money that you are completely, 100% comfortable seeing drop to zero tomorrow morning. Keep your core foundation safe and let your extra cash hunt for upside. Every single student watching this wants the freedom, the security, and the absolute confidence that comes with knowing they can generate real value in the economy on their own terms. But the ultimate difference between the people who will actually cross this $10,000 line and the ones who will stay trapped in the exact same broke, stressed cycle for the next 4 years comes down to one single metric: the gap between a plan written down and an actual action taken. You have 2 distinct paths before you right now. You can close this video, feel a temporary burst of inspiration, and slide right back into your old routine. You can keep scrolling through social media, looking for an effortless shortcut, keep stressing over your phone balance, and wait for a distant graduation day to magically rescue you.
Or you can decide to treat your financial life like a serious business today. Sit down tonight at your desk. Write out your skills, identify your positioning, set up your workflow system, and commit to solving real problems for real businesses. Accept that the first few weeks will be challenging, but if you have the quiet discipline to stay consistent, the momentum will completely shift.
Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop asking for permission, and stop waiting for graduation. Pick your engine, master the pyramid, and make your money clock in for work today.
If this deep storytelling breakdown showed you a different path to financial freedom,